Cody, with the VIP stuff, I asked this question to Spencer, and so I'm kind of curious as to whether you'll answer in a similar way. Is there a time where it's too soon to do VIP?
That's a good question. I would say in this day and age, if you look back 9 years ago when I started SoundRank, I'd probably tell you yes. I probably would have told you, unless you're playing X amount of size rooms, you really shouldn't be doing VIP. As time has gone on, our biggest niche is those mid-tier size acts, and we've grown with a lot of those smaller artists. We've grown with an Ice Nine Kills when they were playing 100 cap rooms. We've grown with the Dance Gavin Dances as they were playing 100 cap rooms. And I think we started out with both those artists when they were playing really small venues. And I don't think there's too small. I think if you are a band that's touring and going on an actual tour, I think there is an option for you to offer that. I don't think you offer a very expensive option. I think it's one that's economical. And at the end of the day, you're maybe making $3 or $4 really off of each of those consumers, but you're gaining and you're essentially making it known that that's what you're going to be offering from the beginning as an artist. And so your fans, as you're gaining them, grow to know that you're going to be offering a VIP on your headlining tours, on your headlining dates, when you come around, when you're playing in front of 100 people, and when you grow into a band that's playing in front of thousands of people. And by doing that from the get-go, it's going to help you gain some of those super fans and really kind of just have those interactions with them in a more intimate setting. Because everybody can say, well, I could have those interactions with my fans after the show. And it's like, yeah, you can, but it's not as like especially when you're a younger band and you're touring and say you have 10 people at a show and you do a VIP session an hour before doors. That is an hour that you have with those 10 people. That is more of an interaction than that fan would get with just shaking your hand after the show at the merch table, signing something and talking. I mean, some of these people have really strong connections with their fans because of the interactions that they have during the VIP. And the artists that are younger that do that, we really suggest that to not charge a lot, to upcharge the ticket maybe $15, include a poster, laminate, and the album, and your profit on it is not huge, but the goal isn't for it to be huge. It's to build it into a moneymaker and to build it into another revenue stream for you to, again, whether it's pushing a new record when the new record comes out, when you're now headlining 500 capacity rooms, it's building that strong fan base that you have. It's selling merch. It's all those things that you can go ahead and do with the VIP. I mean, we're even talking, we've been talking a lot about how can we, lengthen the VIP buyer and those different marketing hits to those super fans that want different things. Maybe it's pre-buying merchandise before the tour even happens and having that available to them on the road. Maybe it's releasing an exclusive poster to just those VIP fans to purchase before the tour. So they're not going ahead and having to handle it at the show and spill beer on it or whatever, So it's like, how can we have all those different touch points and offer this to bands? So as you grow as an artist, I guess back to the point, like as a smaller artist, I don't think there's too small. I think if you're able to go tour and eat, like I said, even if you're playing like 100 capacity rooms, I think there is room for you to offer some sort of experience. And it's not going to be like 30 people a night. We've had ones with like 5 a night, but it does grow into other things. I mean, when we started doing Ice Nine Kills, there was ones where we had 5 or 10 a night, but I mean, now, we're doing 100, over 100 is that time. So it's, we're selling out of different artists selling out and having to really limit it. When I remember starting with Dance Gavin Dance, we were doing like 5 to 10 a night, and then now we have to limit it because there's just so many people that want to do it. And so for us, it's like our whole thing is growing with an artist. And I don't think now, looking back at it and looking how when we first started, I think the bands that we were, those smaller to mid-tier bands, weren't really doing the packages. I think now it's kind of a commonplace for people to do it. Whether they use a company like us or they decide to sell it on their own site. I think that it's definitely, there's a place for it, and we definitely have had some bands recently that are smaller that we've done, and I think it actually turned out, I think, better than we thought it was going to, and that was an awesome thing to do. So
awesome, thank you. Wax, I wanted to segue a little bit to international because I think a lot of artists, they focus on whatever country they're from and try to just grow there. I mean, you had a top 10 single in Europe and Scandinavia just a few years ago. Was developing an international audience and making something like that happen something that you were very conscientious of leading up to that? Or was that just like now taking advantage of just a good opportunity?
It wasn't conscientious at all. It was the exact opposite of that, actually. It was a fluke. You know what I'm saying? I put out a video, and it had some music video. It had some viral success, and I actually got a record deal in Germany. And I'm basically like an underground rapper in America, and I'm a one-hit wonder like Rico Suave guy in a few countries in Europe. You know what I mean? So it was actually super fun to live both of those experiences. Like, I'd go over there and do like Good Morning Germany, and like I did a bunch of like MTV Spring Break shows. Like it was wild, bro. But it was completely at 100% zero planning. There was no planning. Some things in life and some things in this music stuff, you can't plan. You know what I mean? You can't be like, you know what? I want to have the #1 single in Austria. Yeah, I never even been to Austria. You know what I mean? And it was just like sometimes you just got to put the stuff out. I tell a lot of people you got to put stuff out, and sometimes flowers will grow that you didn't even have the right seeds for, or whatever metaphor you want to use. But the good thing about it is, that expands to this day. That's a hit over there. So people still stream that song. People still watch the video. People have learned about my other music from that. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was completely unplanned. I wish I could continue that, but I haven't. I wanted to say with what Cody was talking about with the VIP packages, and Cody, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm kind of like a relatively lower level touring artist, and basically this is my point. I have enough time after the show to pretty much meet anybody who wants to meet me, but I have friends that they got past that level, where if they did like an after show meet and greet, it would take 5 hours. So I feel like, is that almost like the point where somebody would logically do a VIP thing when they don't you don't have time to meet 1,000 people at a meet and greet for everybody after the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good point for it. And I think some artists still don't want to charge for it. One of our very mutual friends, Mac Lethal, does not charge for his VIPs, and like he'll sit there. I mean, actually, it's funny. I booked him for many years, even for the tour that you guys just did together. Yeah, and I booked Spose too. Spose is my homie.
Right.
So like the biggest thing with that is like he'll not, he doesn't charge, but he'll sit there for like 4 hours. Like he could realistically charge if he wanted to, but he doesn't want to. So like I think I think it just matters like how close and what, like offering an experience, you know what I mean? Like is the big thing. Like we have people who will bring an N64 and play Super Smash Brothers with their fans. Like you wouldn't have time after a show. You would have time to meet fans, but to set up a whole TV and play Super Smash Brothers, that's like the offering that an artist that's maybe like, playing not huge rooms and again has the time afterwards, but still wants to like give people an experience and still be able to put a little bit more money in their pocket. That's like the type of experience that you would offer in that situation. I feel like it's more than just like a handshake and hey, how you doing? Thanks, and people. It's like really offering something that somebody's going to walk away from and be like, that was completely worth the money. That was freaking awesome. And I would do that again. And then they'll come up after the show and still shake your hand, but at least that they got their money's worth and that they feel like what they paid for was exactly that. So I think it's definitely like you have to be, I don't want to say tread it, but you have to be like, you have to just make sure that what you're offering is an experience if you're at that level where, you do have the time afterwards to shake everybody's hand and you may not feel that it's worth charging your fans just to shake your hand because you're going to go ahead and see them anyways after the show. So
I mean,
let me ask. Yeah, ask one
Yeah.
thing. I'm sorry. And this is from a touring artist perspective. You said they have the experience, and when they walk away, they feel whatever. But the reality of it is, how do you tell them when to leave? You know what I'm saying? I value my fucking alone time.
A good tour manager always helps.
I don't want to do a pizza party before every show when I got 50 shows on a tour. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to start working at one certain time, and I don't know, man. Maybe I'm socially awkward or whatever, but like when there's this God bless anybody who would pay to meet me, but it's awkward. It's a strange interaction with essentially strangers, and then it's like, how do you tell them, well now it's over? You know what I'm saying? That to me, it's not only that I don't want to charge people, it just seems like an awkward interaction. That's why, like my homie Watsky, he does a VIP package where he does a poetry show before, and it's like when the poetry show is done, they know that that's the time where they go. You know what I'm saying? So, but like, I don't know if you're like, yeah, because like my other homies, they do like they'll barbecue backstage or outside on their bus with people, and I just always am like, how do you get people to leave? You know what I mean?
I think it's a good tour manager, like Mike said.
Well, I think you hit the point, not only with VIP experiences, but with anything, right? It needs to be genuine to you, and you have to feel as if you're willing and able to give something to it. I've had many artists that we've asked to do them, and they felt very awkward. And then once they got in there, they realized what a profound experience it is, because the fans aren't. I mean, some of them are awkward, but some of them are just so, gracious to get the chance to meet you. What I was going to say, before you asked that question, was really with all of this stuff, to me, it's going back to, it does need to be genuine, but simultaneously it's all about how you market it. And I think that's one of the reasons why Ice Nine Kills has had success in it is we've taken just a unique marketing approach to make it, something that's unique and individualized. And, Crystal's done such a good job of that with Bad Wolves. I'm sure, with the Cameo stuff, it's all the same. I mean, so much of what we do, no matter what the stream or revenue, if we market it correctly, we've got a much better chance of it impacting.
Well, Crystal, can you talk about that? Like, is there a different way to market the stuff that you sell to more casual Bad Wolves fans versus these super fans? Is there a different approach to how you get to them? And I guess, actually, I asked the question before I wanted to ask it, but is there like a differentiation between, well, our casual fans we get to on social media, but our Uber fans we can get to via email and SMS, things like that?
Yeah, we never want to make the fans that aren't patrons of our Patreon feel like they're not a super fan because they can't afford or don't want to pay the subscriber fee. So we definitely are cautious of that in all of our language when we post things, because all of our fans are important across the board. And so what we'll do is we'll put up a lot of teasers, or we'll put up like short clips, of the stuff that we are putting up on Patreon, so people do get a little taste of it. We don't want them to feel left out. And we've also just really ramped up the social media for the band, because we don't want all the content to only be created for Patreon and have the people that are only followers on Instagram feel left out and feel like they have to pay to see anything that the band is doing. So we've definitely found a really good balance between both of those. So it's just really walking a fine line to make sure that people don't feel left out and feel like they're not a super fan because they're not paying for it, because they're all important.
Excellent. Thank you. Matt, on Cameo, are there opportunities for music artists that other celebrities can't take advantage of? Is there something special about the musicians that we love that is just a sort of added bonus that should make a Cameo an even more attractive platform?
Yeah, there are all kinds of cool new use cases. Now that we're out there, it's just fun to see how the artists have made it their own. And whenever I learn about something creative and unprecedented, I always get behind it, and if we can get PR behind it and get some visibility around it, we like to, because then it inspires other artists. So I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of examples of that. Tom from Plain White Tees, for example, with Hey There Delilah, he wanted to customize or personalize a